Do it. Put it on the board. Put it on the board. Okay. So those are the themes. Welcome to the Big Dane podcast. I'm your host, Dana Trimborn, and this podcast is a random hodgepodge of topics that gets released on every Tuesday on, your preferred platform, of course. And I really enjoy sharing my personal stories and making those connections with you guys and just really being relatable, all in a fun and silly environment. Friends, what is up? Guess what? Today is my birthday. Yeah. So just wanted to share that real quick before we get into it. But hey, have you ever thought about putting together a vision board? You might be thinking, what the hell are you saying, Big Dane? Well, stick around and learn how impactful this can be for your personal goals and find out what types of visions I put on that I was able to accomplish. Yes. So vision boards. Vision. Yep. I first want to dedicate this episode to Trisha Graybill. She was a friend who shared these vision boards first with my sister-in-law, and from there I did become a part of it, and I'm so thankful that she did because I continue to make these, and it's really inspiring, really is just a cool way to think about your personal goals and what you want to achieve, and I love it. And that's why I want to share it with you and get you inspired and see if you have ever done one of these or maybe have thought about doing one and just haven't. And with it still being the beginning of 2022, there's so much to achieve this year. And it can even go beyond that, really. But let me take you back. I remember Abby first telling me she did one of these vision boards with Trisha. And she was describing to me the purpose of it and, was sharing stories of even another friend of theirs that had put one together and really saw her goals being achieved. And I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. And I thought, wow, this is interesting. And I thought, why not? Why not? Like, what have I got to lose? That's my motto. What have I got to lose? Right? And, maybe when you first think of, vision board, a little kumbaya. All right, whoa. Let's pump the brakes. All right. This, it's about, being better, like seeing your life how you truly want to see it and achieve it. How do I become a better person? What do I want to do professionally? Like so many things we're going to get into. Oh my gosh. So let me just start it off by saying, what is a vision board? Well, a vision board, if you can picture it, no pun intended, collage of images, right? Can be words, quotes, really anything inspirational, and all essentially is being geared towards your goals. And, like I was saying, that maybe it's for 2022. Maybe you don't achieve that, or things, that you really want to achieve in this year, but it could be in 2 years, it could be in 3 years, there's no time stamp really. So there's not this pressure of like, oh my gosh, like I have to do X, Y, and Z and I have to do it in 3 days. And how am I going to accomplish this all? And, you know, you don't have time because who has time these days, right? And it's funny because I feel like we're all still inside and because of COVID, just up and down, up and down. But yeah, so you get to see everything in one shot, what you want to focus on, and it's your board. And I think that's amazing because, you know, you could really do anything you want with it and really, truly make it your own. And as far as the size of this board, you know, I'm not talking about a poster board, you know, we're not doing a college presentation here. And when I mean college, I actually mean elementary school because I don't think I ever did like a poster board in college. But I mean, how many poster boards did we do like as a kid? Like, what was that? So, but obviously you want it a little bit larger than like computer paper, 8.5 by 11, right? It's a little on the small side. So I was like roughly, you know, measuring the size of mine, like probably like a 12 by 15, right? And you're good. So now you have enough space to work with, you know, it's not going to be cramped, but then you also won't feel, you know, intimidated if you did have this large ass board. Like what are you going to do with that? Like, yeah, it's just not going to work. So keep it to like a medium size, and you really just start to think about like, what do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish? And what I like to do, and I think what's key to the vision board, you have to keep it out. Keep it out in a spot where you are going to see this every day. So whatever your routine is, you know, a lot of us working at home now, and, you know, maybe you're only going in the office, if any, 2 days a week. So kind of thinking about that as well, like if you are going a little bit outside your routine some days than others, you know, making sure you have it in that area where you can see it. So for me, I felt like the best area to put it was on my bureau. So I see it every morning. It's wonderful. Sometimes I'll even just like hold it and I'll just stare and think. No, but really, like, you want to have it in a good area. All right. I mean, it seems common sense, but you don't want to complete this and then go put it in the closet and I'll take it out in 5 months. Yeah, I don't think so. Doesn't really work like that. All right. So I'll back it up to when we would go to Trisha's house. So ultimately, Abby and I, we would go to Trisha's house. And for those that don't know Abby is my sister-in-law. Yep. So we would make these vision boards. It was awesome. Or Trisha would come over the house. And so in this experience and what I'm sharing, she had come over to the house when I was still living in Havertown. So this was back in 2017. So for those that are still like catching up on the episodes, you know, I will off and on talk about how I used to live in Havertown. So there you have it. Okay. So I lived in the apartment on the 3rd floor of my brother's house. And yes, I had my own entrance. So, you know, so all I had to do was literally go down the steps from my apartment, you know, inside steps, go outside to the back patio, make a right, make another right, and I was facing their sliding glass door that would look into the kitchen. So boom, so easy. But yeah, it was literally like one weekend and we did this and I really enjoyed it. So now you're thinking, well, how the hell do we create this board? Okay, so like I was saying, the size, we covered that, like a 12 by 15, something to that effect, right? Maybe it's like a wood-like board, you know, or kind of like the foam, like squishy board. So anything that is gonna hold glue or tape naturally, but glue if you choose to glue on your imagery. Okay. So I got these little foam boards at Michael's or AC Moore or something like that. And yeah, and it was like the perfect size, and it came in a pack, and I thought this was great. Like I could even use the back of it if, once I'm done this one, or just start fresh. So totally up to you. But another key aspect here, magazines. I know, and it's tough, I feel like, these days because not as many people are having magazine subscriptions because there's either too many of them or you just want to look at stuff online and it's not the same. And for some reason, Trisha had all these magazines and I thought, how do you have all these magazines? She's like, I don't even know. She's like, I don't even know how I got on these lists. It was hilarious, but like, it was just like piles and piles of magazines. It was Us Weekly to like some kind of home and decor type of magazine, like literally anything. I'm like, I don't understand, but this is great. So we had so many magazines to sift through, and you just get going. You just kind of page through things, look at words, like what is jumping out to you that, you want to really, have the theme here of the board. And yeah. And what you do, you just kind of go through and you can either lightly start to lay out everything or just put it in a pile. And then once you have, everything gathered, right, then you can glue or, tape it on. Okay. So obviously make sure you have scissors. If you don't have scissors, I don't know how you're living. If you're asking, Big Dane, can I do this digitally? Well, of course you can. Of course you can. But I like to use the magazine, like have something physical, right? And I think it's more of the experience to cut out the words, just, find the words as you go page by page. And because honestly, like there's things as you're paging through, you probably weren't thinking of. Whereas, if you're on your computer and what are you doing? Are you typing into the thesaurus? I don't know. Trying to find a synonym? Like, I don't think so. Like, there's no kind of, machine, like word machine, if you will, to let's jumble these words and this is the theme you want. It's going to spit out like, growth or, obviously a better word than growth, but you get the idea. But so now you are ready. You're ready to start. Okay, we're going to cover the themes. Covering the themes so you understand how to lay out everything once you have all your images together and words and quotes and whatever you want. Maybe it's a person. Maybe it's food. I do love food. Foodie. So if you can picture this now, we're going to focus at the center of the board. This is going to be the theme. What do you want to do? What is your purpose? Is there something that is guiding you beyond yourself that you feel like, you have been born to do this? Or literally like this year, like, what do you want to do? What's your focus? All right, we're breaking because I want to tell you about my new coffee membership tiers that I'm offering to you amazing listeners. Yes, essentially a place for all exclusive content that will not be on my Instagram and Facebook. These tiers are going to offer you from sneak peeks of the next episode, uncut audio clips, that won't be on the regular episodes. So we've got some juicy content there and merch discounts. And that's just the beginning of this all, right? So check it out for yourself. You can go and find these 3 tiers when you click on my link tree in my Instagram bio at the Big Dane Podcast. Boom, click on that, and I'm making super easy for you because it's the first one on there, the coffee cup icon. See which one fits you the best. And, again, that can be beyond 1 year. So however way you see it. Okay, so now we're looking at the outer edges of the board. So this is not just 4 corners, but starting from the top right corner and coming down and around clockwise. Okay, I think clockwise is a good way to go. Yeah. It's kind of funny how we say that, clockwise. Like, why? I mean, what if everything in your house is digital? Like, okay, all right. I'm going to go down a rabbit hole that I don't need to go down. But all right, so top right, we are looking at the physical part. Physical. So this could mean, how do you want to treat your physical self? What ways do you see your ideal self? And this could also be related to your overall health and well-being. Maybe you have a health condition, or, you're trying to feel better. Maybe you're having some GI issues like I had or still have, but maybe it's the appearance of how you see yourself, beauty, working out, the list goes on, my friend. So however you're thinking, like, what's the first thing that comes to mind here for that? And what do you want to do for this aspect of the board? Okay. So now we're moving down, straight down to that like 3 o'clock range. Okay. So spirituality. Now, some of you may be thinking like, well, I'm not religious. All right, I don't give a shit if you're not religious or if you are religious. Either way, it's totally fine because it still works, okay? So this really could mean, your mental health. A lot of us, this is a huge part. I know it's a huge part for me. And maybe it's meditation. It could be yoga, or, what's the energy that you're feeling or want to feel? Is there a lot of negativity going on in your life? Is that something you're trying to work on? Like, what is going on here, my friend? So yeah, totally up to you what you want this to be, but these are the options of what it could be. Okay. So now we're moving down the board to me time. Oh, yeah. So this is, what brings you joy? What kind of hobbies maybe you have, maybe things you want to do more of. Yeah. Literally anything. Literally anything. So many, I put on for myself, last year were like books, like the best new books. I found those words. I've slapped it on there because for me, I wanted to just discover just more books and actually try to read because, it's easier said than done. All right. Okay. So then there is fun. Now, I won't spell it out for obvious reasons, okay? If you're saying, like, what do you mean? Okay, you try spelling out that word, okay? Don't want to offend anyone. So this could be, like, what are the things that maybe you're looking forward to doing? Is it traveling? Is it trying new foods? Like, anything, do you want to buy a house in the future? Do you want to move? Do you want to go on vacation, but outside the US. Maybe you want to go to Italy. Maybe you want to go to Spain. Or maybe you want to go to both. Yes, I'm with you. Totally with you there. I need to get out. I'm ready. Fly me across. Okay. All right. Summary now. So, friends and family. This is the next section here. Okay. We're moving up to the left side of the board. Okay. So, this would really be at like that 9 o'clock range. Okay. If we're still picturing like a clock. All right. Like a traditional clock. So, this, of course, can be many different things here. Is there something you want to work on as far as maybe a relationship with a friend, a relationship with a family member, reconnecting with someone, work on your relationship with your partner, maybe get a partner, right? So many different ways, or even really doing something together with your partner or whoever that may be. Okay. And the last part, so this would be the top left corner, the professional part here. So this screams career, right? Is there a company that you would love to work for? What company is that? For me, I always say Nike. I do, but they're so far away. But hey, these days, we're working remotely, so maybe there's a chance. You never know, right? But this could even be maybe certain skills you want to develop, or maybe there's even depending on the type of work that you do, are there tests you have to take? For example, my brother, he's a pharmacist, and he has had to take tests just to get a license in a different state. Yeah, because that's how that works. You can't just get one license and you're good to go. Of course not. They don't make it that easy. And all states are different with different laws. So, boom. But yeah, it's like, how do you see yourself moving in that direction for your career? Maybe you're at a point where like, fuck this job, and you're saying, let me get a new job. Hell yeah is what I say. Hell yeah. Do it. Put it on the board. Put it on the board. Okay. So those are the themes. So to recap, it was the physical, spirituality, me time, fun, friends and family, and professional. Okay. So pretty cool, pretty fun, pretty inspiring. And I'll just share with you a little bit of the first board that I had made that day with Trisha and Abby back in 2017. So for me, the center, I'd put growth, because I wanted to get better at what I was doing at my job. At the time I was still doing media planning and still trying to understand, like, do I like this? Do I not like this? Like, what's going on? So that was one aspect of it, and not just professionally, but just, in other areas, like growing just individually, like as a human, right? But for the professional aspect, I thought, you know what? I need to make more money. Got to do it. And I'm going to make it happen. And so I found these words and I put financial treasure chest on the board. Yep. So now, I made this 2017. Well, I got a promotion in the fall of 2018. Boom. Accomplished. For me, I remember putting, well, I see it right here next to me, but there's a gray cat on there. And I knew eventually, I wasn't sure when, at what point I felt good to, you know what, let me go get a cat. Let me go adopt a little kitty cat. Yeah. And you know what? 2018, came around, I was ready. I started researching, and that was spring of 2018. There's a trend here, 2018. Looking back at the board, I had words on there that said strengthen. And, I do like to work out. I like to do the strength training. So at the time, that was something that I just wanted to continue to do and, find different ways to work out and, pump some iron, right? And so, oddly enough, looking back on this, I thought, oh my gosh, 2017 was the year that, in that summertime, that I fell off my bike and I hurt my shoulder and I had to go to PT. So it's kind of interesting how, initially I was thinking one way, but in hindsight, it's like, wow, like I had to strengthen myself back and go to physical therapy to get my shoulder back on track. So it's like kind of like weird, but whoa, powerful. I did put a man on my board. This man I think he was a soccer player. And had like a scruff look to him. I was like, oh yeah. And had like, not like long hair, but like longer hair. Not a mullet, but shorter, you know what I'm saying? And then I also found like a cologne to go with it. I was like, this is the man. I want a partner in my life. I'm ready. I'm tired of being single. These dates suck. Why is it like this? And so that happened 2018. So weird. As I was literally going through everything, looking back on this board, I could not believe how many things happened in 2018. It was so bizarre. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes, my friends. I did have travel on there. I wanted to get back to Europe at some point. Again, I didn't know at the time what that really looked like, but I knew I want to make this happen. So sure enough, my college friend and I, we went to the French Open and we planned our trip around that. And that was summer of 2018. Oh my goodness, my friends. Like, who knew that so many things would happen, roughly a year, even a little beyond a year later? And sure, the board then looks completely different than to the board I made last year. Absolutely. I mean, a different place, a different time. And yeah, that's already like 5 years ago. Doesn't feel like it, but whoa. Oh, whoa. So that is a wrap, my friends. And just wanted to share, this episode with you because, we can all relate to something like this, right? And really think about our future. Like, how do we want to become a better person, or what do we want to achieve? What are we doing this year? What are we doing next year? I don't know. You decide. It's up to you, and it's just a fun little project to do. And you can do it with a glass of wine if you choose. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you next week. Peace out. Okay, friends, be sure to listen on your preferred platform. Go to my Instagram or Facebook at the Big Dane Podcast and tap on the link tree within my account to find your favorite way to listen. If you truly enjoyed it, stay on the link tree and tap on leave a review. And you'll notice this link tree has other exciting areas to check out, like the coffee memberships that I spoke about with all exclusive content. A merch section is there because, yes, I have merch waiting for you. And of course, feel free to contact me with any feedback or other topics of interest, which you'll see is the last section of the Linktree platform. All right, see you next week.